On behalf of your host, Steve D, this is Bruce Buffer saying thank you for tuning in to Xtreme Lyfe. And now, this is the moment Xtreme Lyfe fans around the world have been waiting for. It's time!
Hey, this is Steve D. I am here at Law MMA hanging out with Dianna Karavas, pro MMA fighter.
I like the way that sounds.
I was just going to ask you, how does that feel to be called
Feels
pro
so amazing.
MMA fighter?
It really does feel amazing because I worked so hard to get to where I'm at today. So it's been like not too long because I haven't been in the sport for a long time, but last 4.5 years have been amazing.
That's awesome. I mean, you know, and that's it. I mean, you've been doing this for, what, about 4 years, you said, and you turned pro last year.
Yep.
You know, which is an amazing, you know, you fought for a little while as an amateur.
Yeah.
And then had a great record as an amateur and then came in the pro. And, you know, now you're fighting as a pro, and, you know, it's a whole, what is the difference between, did you notice any difference between coming from amateur to pro? What was the big difference?
Well, the biggest difference for me personally was that I kind of shifted my training from going from camps every time I have fights to training all year round.
Just doing
full time. I always want to be ready for any opportunity that comes up, you know? So,
absolutely.
yeah.
It's so important.
It's different as a pro because you're getting paid, there's money involved, your career and everything. So I want to just be ready all the time and get better.
Absolutely. And you want to continue to grow.
Yes.
Continue to get better. Mm-hmm. I mean, we were talking prior, you guys got a great gym here full of killers.
Yes.
Full of, you know, we talked about training up, right? Training with people who are more experienced and better. How has that been?
That was actually one of the biggest things when I first came into this gym. I was very intimidated.
I can imagine.
Yes, I was very intimidated, but everybody was super nice, super helpful, and as the weeks and months went by, I was so inspired by everybody and their hard work and how much time they put into this, and just talking to them and their mindset and everything going into fights, everything changed. It was, I don't know, it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, because you get a lot of experience. It's not even just the actual ability to compete. Yeah. It's the setting your head up for it, right? Getting your brain in the right place, getting your mindset
It's
right.
all about your mindset. It's all, when you're fighting, mindset is number one.
Yeah, fights are won and lost through mindset, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it just depends on who's coming in a better prepared mental state than the other person
100%.
walking in there. And you know you're.
I learned that the hard way.
Yeah, well, I think everybody does, right?
Yeah.
We all learn that. You know, if you're anything like me, you're hard-headed, so you have to learn things the hard way. You know, so you're fighting at Bantamweight. Is that a weight that you're going to stay in, or do you see yourself moving around a little bit?
So I'm actually moving up to 145 featherweight.
Okay.
I'm looking to stay here. I kind of decided this with Jennie and Ray.
Two amazing coaches, by the way. I just want to say two phenomenal people, great coaches.
They're my favorite people, I swear.
And they're great. So.
Yeah. So we sat down and talked about my weight cuts and everything, and we all kind of decided that I would fight at 145 now.
Okay.
Just because
it's a more comfortable weight for you?
It's not really more comfortable. I feel like I get to just focus on learning more instead of just focusing on cutting the weight, you know? Yeah. Because I felt myself getting not moving forward, not learning stuff. I was just worrying about cutting the weight, being at a certain weight, not eating too much. Now I just eat enough, work hard, I could push, I could really, bring myself to a different level. So
I get it. I get it. And that's, and that's a big misconception. I mean, a lot of the fight game is about making that cut.
Yes.
And being able to maintain your power and your speed and your energy level.
Yeah.
Making that cut, because if you're dropping, I mean, I know plenty of people like James Gonzalez.
Yes.
I don't know if you know James, but
Yeah,
James, took the title from Pat Sabatini on 6 days'
was
notice
amazing,
and cut 16 pounds
Yes.
in 6 days.
He's amazing.
To make weight.
Yeah.
And he's a great guy, great. I've interviewed him in the past, and that was one of the most brutal arm triangles I've ever seen.
I was there. Like, first thing, I was like, what just happened?
Yeah, it was an insane night with and he was the underdog coming into that fight, and he took it. So
Yeah.
and that's the
whole
thing.
place was cheering for Pat, which I've watched Pat so many times, and I'm a fan of him. Like, and
he's great.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He didn't even tap.
No,
I've seen that guy's arm bent backwards,
yes.
and he didn't tap.
I was in the first row. I was like, what just happened?
How
I was
the hell?
screaming. I was like the only one screaming because the whole place went silent, and I was like,
What just went on? Yeah, no, I think everybody who saw that was like, kind of like, wow, where the hell? And it was just super high level jiu-jitsu right off the bat. As soon as the fight started, and it kept going, and then it just ended in that way, and we're glad Pat's okay.
Yeah.
He ended up being all right after that. I was like, that's definitely busted up pretty bad. So what got you into MMA? What made you start?
I was always a fighter.
You were.
Since
A
I
lot
was
of fights as a kid, getting in scraps and schoolyard scraps.
Yeah.
And
But my older brother, he was a pain in the ass. He would always get into fights, and I would just back him up. And I kind of knew I had that roughness in me to fight. But I never actually thought I would be doing it as a profession now.
Yeah.
I was always into sports growing up. Like, I did track, and I was always an athlete. I always knew that I was going to be an athlete growing up, but I just didn't know which way I was going to go. So on my 18th birthday, I moved to America because I was born and raised in Greece.
Yeah.
So
I saw that in your bio. Yeah, you were born and raised there, and then came here at 18, and you're 26 now, right?
Yes.
If I'm correct. Okay. Yep.
So I moved here, and I started like following UFC and all like the promotions, MMA, and I was so interested in it. And after a few years, I just said, you know what? I'm just gonna go for it.
Just gonna try it?
I'm just gonna try it, and it was that was it.
So is this your first gym, or did you start somewhere else?
Yes, I started in Jersey, Dante Rivera, BJJ.
Yep.
I was there for a few years, and my whole family is from New York, so all my family lives here. And after a while, like, I just kind of thought to myself, there aren't many girls, there aren't many partners that I'm not getting better. Like, I'm feeling myself like I'm stagnant. So I'm like, what am I going to do to better myself? Because I want to pursue this. I want to, further my career, but I wasn't feeling like I was getting a lot of work. So I moved to New York. I stayed with my family, and I found this gym, and I'm so happy I did.
No, you couldn't be in a better place.
Yes,
I'm going to tell you. I just
yeah.
don't think you could be. And if I lived closer to here, I would come here and train. That's kind of, I mean, I live about an hour and a half.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, it would be a no-brainer. I'm about an hour and a half out, so I'm going to probably try to get out here a little bit here and there and do some training.
The training in here is amazing.
Yeah, no, I know.
Sparring days, it's equivalent to a UFC fight.
It's brutal. Brutal.
Being here on Saturday mornings, oh my God.
Yeah, but that's what you need. That's right. That's what you need to get this. To feel. You got to. If you want to get in there and do this, you got to feel like what it's like to get hit hard by people who are going to be doing it.
Yeah.
So you need that same level, and that's what we talked about training up, right? Get hit by somebody who hits a lot harder than you. That way you can feel that.
100%. And that's one of the biggest reasons I left Jersey, because at Dante's I was like the only female fighter, and there aren't other female fighters in the gym, so I really didn't have like partners, and I'm like, okay, I need somewhere where there's going to be girls but also guys my size to train with, and that's why I made the move too, because I needed more.
Well, that's what it takes. I mean, I'll tell you, every professional fighter I know has had to move a few times to kind of find their spot, right? Find their spot where they're going to do well, what team they're going to do well on, who's the right fit for them, who are the right coaches.
Yes.
Like I said, I respect Jennie, and Ray obviously has an amazing record as he's trained amazing people. Matt Serra.
Oh yeah.
I mean, a lot of people in the UFC and in MMA generally. So you're in a great spot.
I definitely am.
So what do you love most about it? What do you love most about being a fighter?
Well, I just love martial arts. Like mixed martial arts is just, I love it. I love watching it. I love doing it, training it, everything about it. Like the mindset, the physical, the mental training, everything. It's just
the whole,
yeah,
the
I just
whole thing.
yeah, I just love it. It's my love.
What about, favorite strike or submission? What's your favorite, like, what is a favorite, I mean, either way, strike or submission that you like to get people in? I mean,
So I'm very long, and I kind of like love popping that jab out to everybody's
keep
face.
the distance.
Yeah.
Keep the distance.
And like I have like the basics, but I try to get really good at the basic and just use that to my advantage. I would say my favorite thing has been like kickboxing lately. Especially for the past year, I've been working a lot in kickboxing. So
you're here.
yeah,
So
yes. So
that's what.
no, it's a
You got the
complete
kickboxing
game.
champ
Yes.
as a coach.
So I would say like kicks are definitely like my
Yeah.
favorite to do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. Like the front kick, I would say was my favorite.
Front kick,
Yeah,
that
the-
teep,
Yeah.
that boom, just get it right into
I
the,
drop
right into
a lot
the gut.
of people with that in
Oh yeah,
sparring.
it comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You could take someone's wind away right
Yes,
away
yeah.
with that, and then
And it's a good, like I keep my distance. Like
Yeah.
that's my favorite.
Yeah,
I have
well,
to say.
yeah. Even if you just push them off with it, right? You just push off, wait for
Yeah.
them to come in, and crack them with something.
There's so
else.
many different ways I could use it. Like I could
Yeah.
use it and bring it with a lot of power
Mm-hmm.
and just knock somebody down. I could use it just to get my distance and get out. It could be used in so many ways.
Yeah,
at
no,
least for me, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a staple in Muay Thai boxing.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's one of those things. It's that way
Yeah.
for a reason. You know,
Yeah.
that and the leg kick. You know,
Yes.
you get the leg kick going, you get the teep going, and then you mix it up with some crosses and some jabs,
Yep,
and,
there you
and,
go.
and then you come in with a
And
hook
then it comes together.
hook and an elbow and goodbye.
There you go. Good night. Lights off.
Hook and an elbow and it's lights out. So I always ask this about fighters. Who's your biggest inspiration in fighting?
Okay. So over the years as a fighter, I mean, nobody has like that one steady person, or somebody could have that one steady person that they look up to.
Yeah.
Mine always kind of changes, and I feel it changes like for the past year, my biggest inspiration is Jennie.
Okay.
Because
Jennie Nedell.
Yes, Jennie Nedell. She's my coach. So I've literally, like, she took me under her wing and kind of showed me everything, and took her time and gave me her time, because her time is valuable. She has a lot of people that she trains, and she has a lot of fighters that she trains, and she gave me that time, and it really is paying off now. So we're all like so excited to see. But yeah, she's definitely like my inspiration.
Plus, she has to keep. She's so busy. She has to keep up her own game too.
Exactly.
She has to do her own
Yeah.
training because she's still the champ and still has to defend that title. So you know that's
watching her fight, I get goosebumps.
Oh, yeah,
I swear.
she's
yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
So good at
It's just she's strong mentally, physically.
Yep.
It's just I don't know. I want to be her when I grow up.
She has a lot of fights under her belt. Well,
Yes.
here's the thing. You can be. It's just a matter of get the fights. Get the fights in.
yeah.
Get them in. And get it going. I mean, she has a 28-4 amateur record, a 14-2, I think, professional record. Amazing fighter, amazing career. Has been doing it for a long time. I think since 2010 on a professional level.
Oh yeah.
So she's just an amazing fighter, and you couldn't have a better coach for the kickboxing. I'll
Yes.
tell you that. She'll drop people.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
She'll drop people. So,
I've seen it.
so it's awesome. So speaking about that, I mean, you're looking for a fight right now,
Yes.
right? You want to fight.
I want to fight, guys.
We were just talking about
I
it.
want to fight you.
You want? Yeah. Just don't fight me because
No,
you'll
no.
probably kick the crap out of me. No, but you're looking for a fight. There's
Yeah.
been some issues with trying to get a fight for you.
So many.
Who do you want to fight? Who do you want to call out right
It
now?
doesn't. Honestly, I'm not like a calling out person.
Okay.
I do want to fight. I want to fight anyone. I want to just get out there and punch people in the face, get punched in the face, like whatever happens,
You want to scrap.
Yeah, I just
wanna
want to scrap. There's nothing wrong with that. We're fighters. Like, just sign the papers and let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah, and are you with any with a certain promotion right now, or I know you were with Ring of Combat for your last fight. Mm-hmm. Are you still with them, or are you just looking at any promotion
At
right?
any promotion.
Okay.
Anybody that could get me, because I feel like it's not about promotions with females. It's about finding a female fighter that's going to step up and fight, you know? So, I mean, I've had 3 scheduled fights that I signed a contract for this past year, and none of them went through.
Okay.
So,
that's not good.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a tough year, I think, for everybody, too.
Yeah,
There's been a lot of canceled fights.
A lot of canceled fights.
There's been a lot of promotions that just aren't doing anything. I mean, I've done a lot of stuff with PFL, and they closed down the whole season.
Yeah.
You know, and there's, you know, and it's been a terrible year. I mean, the whole COVID-19 thing has screwed everybody up.
It's
People
insane.
testing positive right before a fight. They just postponed a fight last week because of it to October 3rd. There's other fights probably this week that are going to get postponed.
I know.
I mean,
it's a rough situation, and I'm definitely very understanding of what's going on and like the importance of other things in our lives right now.
Absolutely,
like health and everything. But I don't know. I feel like for the most part, I've been doing my work. I've been putting in the work, and I've been consistent, and I've been very like almost faithful to this whole thing. And I'm like, please, I want to fight.
Yeah,
you know?
well.
Let
Hopefully
we'll
get,
after this.
we'll get. We're trying to get you a fight. I want to see it. I want to be there.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if I can get there, you know, when you fight, I'd love to see it. Kind of as a follow up to this story.
Yes.
Keep moving.
Oh, that would be amazing.
I'm doing a thing now where I'm trying to. Up and coming fighters that are coming through the ranks, I'm trying to follow their career a little bit now and see where they're going and kind of do like see where they are now, a year from now, a year from then. And, you know, hopefully,
we'll definitely do this. Like,
oh yeah. Keep you going, and you know, I'll come shoot video at your fights and stuff too. I mean, like I said, I want to see, see where all this stuff goes. I love tracking fighters' careers and seeing where you end up, and hopefully we'll get you a good fight out of this, or you know,
we will.
I mean, I have no doubt.
A good feeling.
Me too. Are you? Now, would you rather stand and go face to face, heads up with somebody, or are you gonna take some? You know, do you like to take people down to the ground? 'Cause I know you said you have a jiu-jitsu background, so that makes you dangerous on the ground too.
Yeah, I definitely have a jiu-jitsu background. I'm very comfortable on the ground, but I started with jiu-jitsu, which is the funny part. I started with jiu-jitsu, and then I got into boxing, and then I got into kickboxing, and then everything.
It's evolution.
Changed. Yes.
Evolution of a fighter.
Wow. Like. I just want to, even when I'm sparring someone and I know they have a striking background and I have like the jiu-jitsu advantage, I'll literally just try to prove a point by standing with them, you know?
All right.
Like I want to stand.
Do your coaches ever yell at you for that stuff?
Yes.
Because that's a question. That's a question I actually have for Jenny when I talk with her. You know, as her as your coach and Ray as your coach, you know, are you a fighter that takes direction or kind of does your own thing? What do you think about that?
So in the beginning,
I want to hear your side before I hear hers.
In the beginning, I definitely didn't listen as much, but I learned to trust them. Okay. Literally, even if I don't know what's going on and I go back in the corner and they tell me, okay, do this, do that, whatever, I'm going to listen to them because we just build that relationship of trust where now I'm like, okay, whatever they say works for me, so I'm going to do what they're saying, you know? If I'm in any trouble or, you know, whatever. But if it's going good and I'm doing my thing and I'm succeeding in it, you know, that's good. But
hey, don't fix it.
I do listen. If
it ain't broken, don't fix it, right?
No, but I do listen when I have to.
All right, I'm going to hear what she says about that. Jenny may tell me something different. I don't know. Hey, if you're anything like me, my coaches, when you know, because I come from a CrossFit background, a whole bunch of other things. And, you know, my coaches used to go crazy because I have a habit of I got to do things until I break myself. Once I break myself, then I start listening. You know, so.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the way. That's just the way I operate. You know, it's not for the best always, but it is what it is.
We learn the hard way.
Exactly. You know, some of us got very hard heads up here, and we got to get. You know, got to get them cracked a few times before we start listening. What do you think you need to work on most right now?
I definitely need to work on my nutrition and my recovery.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's very important.
like the most two important things that I kind of slack sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's not because I'm lazy or I'm careless. Like this is all I think about. I wake up first thing in the morning. I think about this. The last thing before I go to sleep is I think about this. So it's more of like I want to enjoy like the little things sometimes in life. You know?
Yeah.
Because I really don't do much other than this. So, I don't know. Sometimes it's hard.
Well, and you know what? It's okay once in a while, as long as it's not like an everyday. Like, I had a terrible weekend this weekend. I ate crap all weekend long. I was like, Jesus Christ, the hell am I doing to myself? I'm eating garbage all weekend, and I feel it today. I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah.
And then Jenny's going to have, Jenny wants me to hit some pads today with her. I'm going to, that's going to be a disaster. It's going to be a disaster. But, you know, whatever. It'll be fun. All right, so last question for you today. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In the UFC?
If you had to visualize it, yeah?
I already know. I visualize like every day.
UFC, that's where you're trying to go?
UFC, fighting for a championship, you know.
In 5 years? Okay. Could happen.
Yeah.
Could happen. You just got to get in the right.
Definitely. I feel like I could definitely get to that. Like, I could definitely get to the UFC within a matter of like a few years. I just need to fight. So if you're out there and you're looking for a fight, fight me. Because I'm trying to be in the UFC.
She's calling you out. She wants a fight. So somebody fight this girl before she starts fighting me, please, because I don't want to get beat up today. But you know, I mean, so if UFC called you tomorrow, you'd be all for it.
All for it. I mean, listen, if they called me tomorrow and they told me to fight soon, I would probably turn it down only because
you're not ready yet.
Yes, I don't want to just. I could be in the UFC. I could get a fight and win a fight, but I don't just want to go in the UFC and just be in the rankings. I want to go and climb up and
this is what kind of I tell people a lot, and I've heard this a lot. I heard this come out of Dana White's mouth himself, and basically it's, when you get to the pro level, it's a jump from amateur to pro. When you go from pro to UFC, it's another jump. Yeah, it's a huge, like I said, it's another level. I'm
not underestimating.
No. Yeah, I've seen a lot of fighters. Go
but
in.
I do believe that I will be there.
I believe you will too.
Yeah.
I think you're smart though.
Yeah.
You want to do it the right way.
Yeah.
You want to go in. You want to make sure you're ready, and you want to go in and just hey, get some more pro fights.
Yeah.
Do some more pro fights. So somebody fight her, so we could get her to the UFC. Because I would love to see that. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I think you could do it. Plenty of people in this gym have gone there.
Yes.
So I think
this is anytime I'm training and I'm tired, I'm hurting, or something's going on, I just look up there. I'm like, I can't stop. Look at all these people. I could be up there.
You can.
It's great motivation to be in here.
Absolutely. So hopefully, like I said, we get you get a fight going soon, and your training is going to pay off. I think, and just stay true to it. I think I think that's the I think who the heck was it said, and this goes with fitness, this goes with everything. If you just stick with it long enough and train hard enough and stay motivated enough, you'll get there, right?
But that's the problem. Sometimes you lose one of those. Yeah, one of it. But thankfully, sometimes I do. I mean, I have my days or weeks, where I'm like, I don't feel as good, or we all have doubts.
Yeah,
but
of course.
That's where the coaches play a big role.
That's where they get in your head and say, knock that shit off, let's go.
Yeah, like Jenny knows how to light that fire up, and I'm just like, all right, let's go.
Awesome. Well,
great.
Dianna, it's been awesome talking to you.
Great
I know you're going to have a brilliant career.
Thank
I look forward to following it.
I appreciate it.
And hopefully you're gonna get that fight soon, so that we could see you in action.
Yes. Hopefully they see this and get motivated.
All right.
Maybe they want to beat me.
All right. And if anybody's listening, anybody's checking this out right now, she wants a fight, so let's go. And Dana White, she's looking for the UFC eventually, so keep an eye on her.
Yeah.
And let's see what happens. I wish you the best, and it's been awesome.
Much.
Thank you for taking the time to talk with me today.
Of course.
Awesome.
My pleasure.
And we're live again. I'm here with Jennie Nedell, New York State kickboxing champion, Intercontinental champion, awesome fighter, good friend. Known Jenny for a little while now, and got a hell of a record. Glad to have you on. I think you have a 28-4 amateur record, 14-2 professional record, current title holder. It's just an amazing thing. And you're also a coach and you spend a lot of time coaching. And I just met with one of your athletes, your fighters right now, Dianna Karavas, who I think is going to be an amazing athlete going forward, and is already, but I think is only going to grow in potential. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, her potential is...
Just pick that up a little bit.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm working.
It's okay.
No, absolutely. Her potential is something that you look for in anybody, and not even just skill-wise. I'm talking upstairs.
Yeah.
You can have the greatest of fighters ever, and then if they don't have that inside of them, it really doesn't matter what they can do on pads. Because if you don't have it all together, it's not going to work together.
Yeah, and we were talking about that, the mindset, right? The mindset of a fighter. And one of the questions I asked her was, now there's two types of athletes, in my opinion. There's the type of athlete like myself that it is hard-headed and hard to train. Got to do things my own way a ton before I start listening to my coaches, and used to drive coaches crazy for me when I was competing in a lot of different things. But I have to fall pretty hard before I'm like, you know what, I think you're right.
It's time to listen.
Yeah, so there's that type of athlete, and then there's the one that just kind of listens and right from the bat listens to the coach. What type of fighter is she?
Well, if I'm being...
I asked her the same question.
If I'm being... if I'm being 100% honest, when she first started, she wasn't really, I think she was kind of lost because, she didn't come from here. She was somewhere else originally.
Yeah.
And just kind of ended up here. And, obviously she's a pretty girl. So when those pretty girls come in at first, you're like, is this just going to be a girl trying to hook up with all the guys, or is she actually here to do it for herself?
Is she here to train and fight? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, I tell her, she's one of my closest friends now, but in the beginning, I definitely judged her, and I was like, great, here comes another one of these girls, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I started to see she started to work and started to get into that progression. And then during quarantine, we just linked up because she was supposed to fight.
Yeah.
And I saw a completely transformation.
Yeah.
Like in this quarantine, you could easily fall off.
Oh, yeah.
Or you're going to go hard and become somebody else.
Yep.
And she showed me a completely different side of her that she's stuck with me now.
Well, she definitely seems she's stuck with you now. She's stuck. Now she seems 1,000% motivated right now. I mean, she wants to fight. She wants to go in there. She wants to learn. It seems like.
And it's even harder because she's had so many fights fall through.
Yeah.
So it's easy to try to lose weight and get in shape when you have a name and you have an end goal.
Yeah.
To stay motivated when there's no definite end goal, just you bettering yourself.
Yeah.
That takes a different type of person.
That's always what I told people. Here's the thing. When I was doing a lot of the, I'm not competing like I was years ago. I'm a master's athlete now. I'm going to be 48 in a couple weeks. God help us all.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you. It's hard to believe, but I'm still, if you ask my wife, she'll still tell you I'm still an adolescent at heart. But, I need something to train for. I'm the type that I have to have that, okay, I'm training for this event, or I'm training for that event, or I'm training for this, or, for me, you got to have that goal, right? And it's incredibly hard, for an athlete to kind of just train for the sake of training with nothing at the end of that.
You need that push.
Yeah, for an athlete. I mean, if you're somebody who just wants to get in shape and somebody who just wants
That's different.
That's a whole different ballgame.
You're fighting it to prevent yourself from dying against somebody else training just as hard. So it's a completely different animal.
Yeah, you don't want to go out there and get crushed, right?
Right.
And, it sounds like you made a hell of an impact on her because she definitely says you're one of her biggest inspirations right now, which is awesome. And I said you couldn't pick a better kickboxer for inspiration or fighter. But, it's one of those things where I think because she came from a Brazilian jiu-jitsu gym, I think, right? If I'm correct.
Right.
She came from a BJJ gym. And now she's like, I'm really, into the striking. So you kind of changed her whole perspective, I think.
Yeah, you know what it is? And I think just from moving around with her, she's becoming such a good striker. And in the beginning, I would toy with her. Now I actually have to think it's actually kind of annoying. I'm like, oh, shit, I just taught you that, and you're already hitting me with that. Like, it's
she
not
just
okay.
caught me.
Right. And she's too nice. So I'm trying to bring... I'm the bitch. I'm trying to bring out that
driver.
A little bit in a different way.
Yeah.
You can be nice, but you got to push forward, and that person's trying to kill you, so you got to
be
go
nice
forward.
After the fight.
Exactly.
Be nice after it's over. When you walk in, there's a lot of fighters that have that down pretty well. As they come in and they'll give you that gaze from across the ring. They just want to intimidate because that's part of the fight.
Absolutely.
That's part of the fight. That
it's more
intimidation.
Mental than physical.
That intimidation is a big part of it, in my opinion, is getting that person psyched out to make them make a mistake, right? Make them push and make a mistake, and then you catch them. And then you apologize after.
Right. Right. You hug after, go get a drink, call it a day.
Yeah,
but in
whatever.
there, you flip that switch, you get in there.
Yeah, you're a
it's
warrior.
You or her, it better be her.
Yeah, you're a warrior.
End of story.
You're a warrior at that point. And I know that's the mindset you come into the ring with. So what's next for you? That's a question I have. I mean,
if my family's listening, I'm just good. I'm going to keep coaching. No, I still have the itch. I'm not done. You know, I'm very blessed. I have Ray beside me. So if I was getting beat up or he saw, look, it's time, I would listen to him. But he knows I'm training every day. I'm getting better. There's still so much more to learn as a fighter and a coach.
Yeah.
I love it.
I don't think you're done yet.
I'm not done.
I don't think you're done.
Sorry, Ma.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, it's kind of hard, I think, for families to watch,
And because of my age, I get that. But, what age is just a
How
number.
old are you now? You're not that. Oh, I don't know if I should even ask that.
I'm
question.
over 40.
Over 40. Well, I
But
just.
just newly. Not that much.
Newly over 40. Well, I mean, yeah, but that's, here's the thing. Randy Couture fought till 47 years old.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of people that are, and now, more and more, I will tell you, 48, I am not my father's 48 years old.
Well, that's the whole thing. I think everything is way different now.
Yeah, it's just a number. I think, think about that. People invented this stuff. Yeah, you do decline as you get older. That just happens. But I don't think 40's it. I don't think 40's the downfall. I don't think 50's the downfall. I think it depends on the person.
Yeah, I'm still beating girls half my age that on paper should kill me.
Yeah.
And I'm still, like I said, I'm lucky I have the best team here pushing me. I have the best coach that I'm not going to be one of those people that are like, ooh, that girl's fighting again.
Yeah.
Somebody needed a paycheck. I don't do it for the money. I do it because I love it. And I push myself day in and day out with Ray. So I want to test myself. Why else am I doing it,
Yeah.
So
You looking to go back to Glory?
I heard Glory was kind of falling out.
Are they really?
I'll fight anywhere, anytime, anybody. I mean, it's not a thing. As long as there's an opponent in front of me, I'm going to train for it. I train anyway, like it's fight.
Yeah. No, and that's like I said, that's one of the things about you. I know you have an incredible work ethic. You want to fight, you want to get out there. And someone said to me a long time ago, when I interviewed somebody who was an older athlete like myself and like you, and we're in that range where you become masters athletes, right? And they said, fighters fight. That's what we do.
100%, and it's in me.
Yeah.
Like I said, again, I'm lucky that I have Ray, because Ray would be like, all right, no, it's stop. But he's the one saying, no, you're still learning, you're still getting better.
Just keep
and I
going.
have to stay in shape. If I'm training these girls and these fighters, how do I not put myself through what they go through so they could see that I'm doing it? Why can't they? You know what I mean? And that's what I try to tell Dianna, like, I'm with you on this ride, so let's do this. You want this? You're going to hate me, but I promise at the end of the day you're going to love me when your hand is raised. So
well, it's inspiration. It's inspiration. It's inspiration. And inspiration comes in a whole lot of different ways. Sometimes you got to be tough. Sometimes you got to be kind. Sometimes you got to be a little bit of both.
Right. And it helps because, being a female fighter, it's rare having a female coach, too, or someone that kind of gets that on every angle of it. So it helps.
No, awesome.
Yeah, you can do it.
So what do you... I guess one last question on Dianna. What do you think at this point she needs to work on the most?
Finding a goddamn opponent.
Finding a...
That's it. I mean, I got to tell you, like I said, day in and day out, she's had 4 fights fall through, and she's still here training and doing what she has to get that so that we are ready, God forbid. It's a last-minute thing. We're ready. We're going to just stay ready. Yeah,
and that's what we talked about that a little bit, too, just training in the hopes that something will come up. And I'm hoping maybe somebody will see this or we can get this out there and hopefully she gets a fight soon so that, we could, because I want to, one of the things I'm doing now is I'm finding new fighters, people who are coming up in the world of combat sports, and I'm doing like a tracking their career kind of thing.
That's cool.
So I think it's important. It's
you
a
go
way
back to remember when type.
Yeah, support you support the new fighters because these are the future champions. These are the future people coming through that a few years from now are going to be sitting at the top of the game, and they need that support right now if they want to get there. So it's important. So, one of the things I want to do is continue to follow, obviously Dianna and a few other people that I'm tracking right now, and a few others that are going to come down the line, and just, keep posted on what they're doing, maybe show up at some of their events, do some taping there.
That'd be great.
Yeah, it'll be fun. So, I'm looking forward to seeing you fight again.
Yes,
hopefully we'll start to have crowds again at some of these events.
I don't even care if there's a crowd. I just want to punch somebody. I don't even care.
That's exactly what she said.
I don't care. Just give us somebody to fight. She's transformed. I'm so proud of her. It's amazing to see what she's done in just a few months' time.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So she really has the world out there for her.
Yeah.
We just got to find somebody for her to use it on.
Yeah, and she's got a great coach, a couple great coaches, and she's got youth on her side right now. So she's got time to make it happen. So hopefully
Hope for the best.
Hopefully, she wants to get to the UFC. So
It's possible. I
It
see
is.
it. I
It is.
absolutely see
It
it
is
for sure.
possible. Yeah.
She's got the drive and she's got that dedication. All
Yeah.
she needs is the body in front of her.
that's it, and that's it. And all it's going to take is Dana or Bruce or somebody from the UFC seeing her fight and saying, hey, we need a replacement, because that's how a lot of people get in.
Well, that's why I want her
You
to
need a
stay
quick
ready.
fight.
God forbid.
You need a quick
that's
fight.
what's happening now. You see
Yeah.
people getting pulled from the ranks that
Especially with COVID, because people are
Right.
testing positive for COVID, and then they're pulling in another fighter. So, it's important. So, Dana, if you're listening, Bruce, if
Let's
you're
go.
listening,
She's ready. Let's do it.
check it out, and let's make something happen. So, all right. Well, I'm looking forward to continuing.
Well, thank you for
continuing
coming
the journey. Thank you for having me. Thank you for talking with me. It's always a pleasure, Jenny. I love
Definitely a
talking
pleasure.
with you, and we'll do this again soon.
Good.
All
Now I'm
right?
going to kill you with some pads.
And now we're gonna go. She's gonna beat me up. All right. Be good. Steve D, Jennie Nedell, Extreme Life Podcast. We just talked about Dianna Karavas, up and coming fighter. She's gonna be awesome, and keep an eye on her. And we'll be back.